If I only had a brain, a heart, a home, the nerve.
Oh, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Here he is, the Wizard of a Wiz, if ever a Wiz there was. If ever a Wiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Well guys, it's time to review another classic movie leading up to an upcoming movie coming out this year. So, Wicked is out this week, and of course it's getting some great reviews, and it's one of my most anticipated movies of this year. So to celebrate that release, of course, I wanted to review this movie for a very long time. This is definitely in one of my favorite movies of all time. It's time to review the 1939's classic, The Wizard of Oz. This movie came out, like I said, in 1939. This movie is directed by Victor Fleming and stars Judy Garland, Jack Harley, Ray Bolger, Burt Lahr, Frank Morgan, Bailey Burke, and Margaret Hamilton. So, if you guys do not know the story of this iconic family classic, seriously? Where have you been? If you have not seen The Wizard of Oz, do yourself a favor. Check this movie out. This is not just one of the greatest family films of all time, not just one of the greatest musicals of all time. I would say The Wizard of Oz is one of those movies that changes movie history for the better, especially with Technicolor. But you know what? I'm going to be nice to some people who have not seen The Wizard of Oz and tell you a quick synopsis what this movie is about. We introduced to Dorothy Gale, played by Judy Garland. She lives in Kansas, and after she tries to run away from family problems of her home with her dog Toto, a tornado comes in and sweeps Dorothy and Toto to the magical land of Oz. And of course Dorothy wants to get home, and with the help from Glinda the Good Witch in this movie, she requested Dorothy to go see the magical Wizard of Oz, who she thinks is the best choice to get Dorothy home. So along the way throughout the Yellow Brick Road, she meets the Scarecrow, who joins along this adventure because he wants to request a wizard for a brain. Also she meets the Tin Man that wants a heart, and a lion that wants courage. So all four of them go on a journey to see the Wizard of Oz to try and get Dorothy home, while the Wicked Witch of the West tries to stop Dorothy, tries to basically get revenge on her from accidentally killing her sister and having the ruby slippers. And all craziness ensues, guys. The Wizard of Oz, seriously, what there is to say about The Wizard of Oz that hasn't been said? This is definitely one of the greatest movies that's ever made. I would even say it's one of the greatest family films that's ever made. This film appeals to kids, adults, the whole family, every generation. Even to this day, I think The Wizard of Oz still holds up as a movie to this day. For a movie that came out in 1939, this movie completely holds up during this day. Definitely this movie is in one of my favorite musicals of all time. This is definitely one of my favorite childhood movies of all time. Every time this movie comes on TV, I keep begging my dad to leave the movie on. I remember like the first time I discovered The Wizard of Oz, thinking how magical and beautiful and mystical the movie is. It's a movie that's just very nostalgic for me, so I was so excited to review this movie leading up to Wicked, and my god, Wicked looks so good right now. And of course, this movie has gone through a lot of production issues, you know, including crazy recastings, makeups. The director, Victor Fleming, is basically being harsh on Judy Garland. Margaret Hamilton basically got burned on set. There's a lot of crazy behind the scenes facts of this movie, but I don't want to talk about that in this review because I feel like that's what everyone is doing while talking about The Wizard of Oz. I just want to talk about the movie itself. And I just got to talk about the revolutionary of Technicolor in this movie. First of all, obviously this film is not the first film that uses Technicolor, but this movie introduces Technicolor in the most unique way possible, from translating from black and white to Technicolor, and this movie did that extremely well. That iconic shot when Dorothy opens the door and sees the wonderful world of Oz. I just cannot imagine people's first reactions back in 1939 when this movie was released, thinking of that scene. Everyone's mind has been completely blown during that scene. Because this is a film that basically starts, you know, revolutionary Technicolor in the most unique way possible. And I would say still to this day, this is still one of the most beautiful family films I've ever seen. The Land of Oz, the way the movie looks in general, still looks perfect. perfection. The color schemes of The Wizard of Oz is still really fantastic, still to this day. By scenes of the Munchkin Land, the Emerald City, everyone dressed in green. The colors of this movie is so freaking well done. Let's talk about the cast of The Wizard of Oz. Of course, this has some of the most iconic castings that I have seen in a family film, especially the iconic Judy Garland as Dorothy Gale. Holy gosh. This is definitely one of the most iconic actresses casted in a movie completely ever. She is fantastic as Dorothy Gale. During the emotional scenes, during the heartfelt scenes, you definitely root for Dorothy to go back home. This movie teaches you a lot of great lessons about what it means about family, what it means about being home, and from Dorothy's perspective, her learning about these things, it's really well done. But Judy Garland, of course, this is definitely her most iconic performances in her film career. The performance that actually put her on the map. Also, the rest of the cast in The Wizard of Oz is, of course, really iconic, including Ray Bolger as the Scarecrow, Jack Harley as the Tin Man, and especially Burt Lurr as the Lion. Oh my god, one of the funniest performances of this movie. I haven't slept in weeks! Then why didn't you try counting sheep? I tried, but I'm afraid of him. Put him up, put him up! And obviously their chemistry together between Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the Lion is one of the most iconic group friendship chemistries in film. Love the four of them together. You root for them to basically get what they wanted. And you just follow along during the journey, basically, to meet the Wizard of Oz in the film. And I love that the film takes its time introducing the four characters, and every single time we meet these characters, oh my god, I just get so excited. I'm like, yes, they met the Scarecrow, yes, the Tin Man, and every single scene when they're singing If I Only Had a Brain, a Heart, and all that stuff, you know, it's just so iconic. Because we just love them four together, and the casting is just fantastic. But let's talk about, in my opinion, one of the most iconic movie villains of all time, and that is Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch of the West. She is still fantastic in this movie till this day. She is so over the top in a really good way, but she's one of the most quotable movie villains of all time. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. But her playing the Wicked Witch of the West, there's just nothing too much to say. She is a great villain. There are times where she's terrifying, there are times that she is darkly funny in a way. I just think Margaret Hamilton just does a fantastic job as the Wicked Witch of the West. Definitely a very iconic villain. Her laugh is iconic. Every single scene she's in, she steals the spotlight. She's definitely a very menacing villain, but also a very fun villain to impersonate. Also, Frank Morgan. What a great casting as the Wizard of Oz. Not just the Wizard of Oz, he plays a lot of characters in the film. He plays Professor Marvel that Dorothy Gale met in Kansas. He plays some characters in Emerald City, including the doorbell guy. He plays the guy on the horse. He plays that guy that cries so hilariously. But of course, he plays the Wizard of Oz himself. And I thought Frank Morgan is really fun in this film. Also, Belly Brooke as Glinda the Good Witch. She is very charming in this film. She has a great chemistry with Dorothy Gale in the film. She definitely has that sweetness into her where every time you see her, you just feel a sense of smile and wonder. And that is the Wizard of Oz in general. When you're in the Land of Oz, you definitely feel immersive into the world. You feel a sense of wonder. You feel a sense of adventure. You feel a sense of happiness throughout the film. Like I said, the look of this movie, the production design, and especially the music in the film. Let's talk about the music in this film. Not just that this film has a great score, which it really does. Every single time the MGM logo comes in and we hear that iconic opening score, it just makes me excited to watch the film. But also, the musical sequences alone. Every single song in The Wizard of Oz is iconic. Like I said, with I Only Had a Brain, Heart, Courage, those songs are iconic. Wonderful Land of Oz, I Am the King. Oh my god, that song is really hilarious.
I were king of the forest.
The Munchkin Land scenes, oh my god, it's just so freaking iconic.
As mayor of the Munchkin City, in the county of the Land of Oz, I welcome you most regally. But we've got to verify it legally.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, a witch, a wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Wake up, you sleepy head. Rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the wicked witch is dead.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Oh my gosh, the songs in this movie are very iconic, but of course, you've guessed it, the best song in this entire movie, in my opinion, is absolutely Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
You just can't beat this song, and the fact about this song was meant to be cut out of the movie. Just... yeah! That is crazy that they're cutting out this best written opening monologue song for a movie. Every time I hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow with Judy Garland's famous voice, it just makes me cry every single time I watch it, but also makes me really happy at the exact same time. It's such a well-written song for a film like this to introduce Dorothy Gale as a character. Basically wanting to see other places and wanting to explore what is going on in life. It's such a beautiful written song and still one of the most iconic songs in any musical ever.
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
But every single song in this movie is freaking fantastic, so well written, and like I said before, the score of this film is also really whimsical and magical. For a movie that came out in 1939, honestly, this movie will hold up still in 50 years. This is one of the most hold up movies that I have ever seen. This movie is definitely an instant classic to all family films out there. There's really not too much to say about The Wizard of Oz that hasn't already been said. This movie is a total classic. The cast in the movie is great. The characters you definitely root for in the film. This film has a great villain, has some really fun and kooky characters. The production design, the use of Technicolor in this movie is great. This is a very fun family adventure film that definitely, if you have kids and they have not seen this movie, show them right away. Kids will absolutely enjoy this movie still to this day. This film is so well written, and Victor Fleming, despite everything he does, definitely he directed this movie extremely well. A lot of crazy behind the scenes facts of this film, but like I said, I'm talking about the film alone. The Wizard of Oz is an instant classic. It's definitely one of my favorite musicals of all time. Probably one of my favorite films of all time. Every time I watch The Wizard of Oz, I will always feel happy the whole way through. So guys, that is my review for The Wizard of Oz. I'm so looking forward to seeing Wicked this Saturday. I'm seeing this film in IMAX 3D. I'm really looking forward to the movie, so look forward to that review coming very, very soon. Guys, if you have not seen The Wizard of Oz, I'm not even going to ask you what you think of the movie, because honestly, everyone has seen The Wizard of Oz. So yes, I would say, my question, what is your favorite song from The Wizard of Oz? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contacting with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.
Because of the wonderful things he does, we're off to see the Wizard